sometimes when you're writing nonfiction, you want to put information into your piece, but you don't want to spend an entire chapter or even a paragraph on it. So a much easier alternative sometimes is to create a sidebar. And a sidebar is just a place where you have information that maybe doesn't fit into the main idea of the text, but you still want to mention it anyway. They're also pretty cool because they grab the reader's attention. You know, this one is about polar bear attacks, and rather than give you a boring sentence with a list of things to look out for when a polar bear attacks you, they made a sidebar. So you look for prints and bear poop and fresh kills, and you know that there's a polar bear around you. So how do we make these sidebars? Well, as you can see, here is my very quick mock-up of a most popular dog breeds of 2018 sidebar. I created it using Google Drawings. And the way you do that is you just go up to Insert, and you go to Drawing. You're going to select New, and you've probably all done this before, but there's a couple ways you can get started. The first thing you can do is you can create a shape, and there's lots of different shapes here. You know, you could do basic shapes like squares, there's arrows, there's callouts, which are like banners, and equations even. So uh, let's make one. I've never used this before. Let's try this one. It's a ribbon. So we drag, we drop it, and you'll notice that you'll have like this red line show up, and that tells you you're centered, and that's kind of important. I typically try to make mine towards the top, and then this allows you to stretch different aspects of this, make it wider, make it more narrow, and then you'll notice that there's different options here. I can grab on this and I can make my ribbon wider or not as wide. I can take and increase the size of this part. So really most of this is just playing around with this to see how it works. So I'm just going to make this ribbon as ridiculous as I can. You can, when you click on it, you get different options. I can change the color of it. Let's make it this really ridiculous green color. I can change and give it a border. You know, I can put a border around the outside of it. And right now you can barely see the border, but if I go here, I can actually thicken the border. That is really atrocious looking. But anyway, you can press this to get a couple more options. And these are really for different effects when you're putting in text. So let's say I want to get a picture onto this sidebar. Well, if you go up to this key, you could hit image, and you get a lot of options for images. You could have a picture already set and drag it right into this from your desktop, or you can take a picture with your camera. You can take a picture that's in Google Drive. You can go right to a URL address, or you can go to search. So I'm going to type in dog, and oh, look at that dog right there. Let's pick him. So we're going to take this dog and we're going to stick him in our picture, and you're going to notice that this dog is way too big. So we can take this dog and we can shrink him down, and let's see if we can fit this dog right in the middle of our banner here. And I think you'll see we have an issue. So like he's not going to fit in our banner. If we make him shrink him anymore, he's going to be way, way, way too small. So if you want to get more options, you're going to do a 2-finger click on your trackpad. So I'll take 2 fingers, I press my trackpad, and then I get these other options. One of them is a crop image. So I go to crop image, and this is kind of cool. I can actually bring this in and bring this in, and we can fit our dog right here on the banner, and all that extra stuff we don't have to have in it. So after I drag that in, I just hit the return key, and now my dog is in the center. I can even give my dog a border if I want to. So I pick a border color. Let's pick another really obnoxious color like this. And, you know, I can change the weight of it. I can make it thicker or thinner. And now I have this really ugly color banner. If I want to add text, I just go up here to the text box. I drag and I start typing. If I want more options for typing, I click on more. It allows me to center or put it left or right justified. I can change my text color. I can change my font, and there's lots of stuff I can do. So really, it's just playing around with this. change the font size. Yeah, that looks really good. Way to go. And so that's kind of the case. Now, sometimes you're going to get a situation where you have to move things above and below each other. So what I can do, if I do that 2-finger click again, I'm going to get another option, and I'm going to see this thing called order. And what I can do with order is I can take this dog and I could put him underneath the banner if I wanted him underneath the banner for some reason. So I would go to send backward or send to back, and now my dog has disappeared. He's still there. You can see this box, but I can't get to him because he's behind the banner. So let's say I don't want to do that. Anytime you make a mistake on here, just hit the back arrow, undo, and that will bring you back to where you were. One important thing is wherever you get your information from, you're going to want to make sure that you give some credit to your source. So I've been getting in the habit of, in the bottom, just writing source, and I say where I got it from. You know, let's pretend this came from the American Kennel Club. It didn't, but let's just pretend it came from there. And then, you know, I tried to take this and make it like a very small font size, just so it's I don't want it to being the, you know, the major thing that people are looking at here, but I do want to give credit to my source. So after I'm all done, I click save and close, and now I have this sidebar that really doesn't have much information on it, but that's how you create a sidebar. And we'll talk more about how do you take it and adjust it on your screen so that it fits the right way. Hope this helps.